How's Bo doing? He's a happy boy. He's a happy boy. Boy. Hi everybody. I hope everybody's doing really good. So, I'm just getting news right now that Roy is sending me. Roger down in Jacksonville was just saved due to our exposure from a high kill shelter. How amazing is that? Awesome. So I'm so excited to hear that news. Those shelters are so packed, and what we were doing is working. So that's great. When I started dog rescue, I was excited. I was very youthful. I was excited to get into this. I wasn't angry. I wasn't really upset at all. And life was really good. Once we started getting a lot of notoriety, and we ended up on KTLA 5, and other rescues got wind of us, they started to feel intimidated. They started to feel like they should keep an eye on us. There has been a huge problem in dog rescue. It's been going on long before I even got into this. I'm young, I'm new to dog rescue, and I love saving these dogs. I love everything about saving dogs. I do, but I've come to the conclusion that I've been giving it a lot of thought, and these dogs are in danger if people continue to slander and continue to defame our rescue. We are moving towards clearing these accusations, and I'm a smart guy. I know that it's not going to stop most of these people. Even when we sue them, they're still going to do it. They're going to make fake profiles. They're going to jeopardize situations. I know so many dogs that could have been helped and were not helped because of the slander and the defamation. And the power of these other dog rescuers, and I don't know what to call them, but their hate is much more powerful. Their hate for me is much more powerful than their love for the dogs. Because we don't hurt dogs, we don't put them in jeopardy. I think it's understandable that they have a fear because the slander's been so out of control. You know, I fear for my dogs at home. I fear for that knock on the door where someone's going to come and try to do something to my dogs. Animal control has been to my house multiple times with false reports. There was a dog that I caught as a stray on the street. You all know about that. I was in Florida at that time, and all I asked was to be able to be home to interview the family. And I would have given that dog to them if they proved to me, like I said, showed me photos and vet bills. But instead, animal control had to take the dog to a kill shelter. And the dog, thankfully, is getting spayed and shots, which the family did not do. So these are reasonable requests, and I'm being pushed to my limits. I'm getting angrier and angrier, and I'm only human. And I don't want to end up doing something I regret. I don't. I am getting pushed so far to my limits that I have a life. I deserve a personal life. I do, you know. And on top of that, I do have a history of depression, and I don't want this to push me any farther because I do fear for what may happen. So, you know, I've made a decision out of the best interest of the dogs and the best interest for my health moving forward, that I thought I was going to end up becoming possibly a dog rescuer, somebody who has all this land and is saving these dogs and providing all this care, because what we've done out of a one-bedroom apartment 2-bedroom apartment is insane. It's amazing. And I want to give a special thank you to Keith for just being so awesome. Gay, Roy. Thank you to Jason for donating wheelchairs. These dogs have gotten so much amazing care, and you know, there's so much peace in me for the amount of dogs that we've changed their lives. And was it all perfect? No, it never is. It's like I go over in my head. I say if these haters didn't exist, if Cold Hard Facts didn't exist, then Shirley would still be alive. So these haters, they push and they manipulate and they lie because they hate me, and it's putting the dogs in jeopardy. You know, a beautiful story was run about Bo that was inspiring people. That had nothing to do with raising money. That had nothing to do with anything negative. I was getting messages from people saying, I've been through that too. Thank you, Johnny, for that story. And the editor of the story had to take the article down because she got so many messages of hate. And I asked her, I said, well, why did you take it down? And she said, well, there was so much hate sent over to our producers that they just felt that it wasn't in the best interest of their inspirational page to allow those kind of comments in the comment section. Every single comment was positive. And these specific intimidated haters, they just kept commenting and it's just such a negative energy I don't want to be around anymore. I don't want to be around dog rescue anymore. I just don't like it. I have seen the best in people in dog rescue, but I've seen the worst. So I'm not a thief. I've never stolen anything, and I think that it's going to be an eye-opener when the truth comes out. And I didn't steal from SPCLA, and I didn't steal from Camp Cocker Spaniel. And we stood up, and we fought the allegations, and we proved them wrong. But it's just never going to stop. I never should have been investigated by the Attorney General. It just never should have came up. The reason why it happened is because of tattletales. It's like when you're in middle school or elementary school and someone tells the teacher, hey, this guy did something wrong, and it was something so minuscule, and they lied about a whole bunch of other things, and then it just tacked it on. They have to investigate. And it's not okay. You know, I don't deserve any of this. We don't deserve this, and the dogs don't deserve this. I have nothing to hide. I have tried my best to get positive stories out there to inspire people. And if I can't even get this page off the ground where I can get this inspirational story about a dog with cancer, it's just because they hate me. And I think Bo's story deserves to be out there to the public. And I've had people message me saying my 12-year-old daughter tried to commit suicide a few days ago, and she saw your story, and she doesn't want to anymore because she sees that she wants to adopt a dog. And she saw what you did for Bo, and she wants a paralyzed dog. And I told her maybe she's not ready for a paralyzed dog yet, but we'll get her a dog. I mean, how beautiful. And to have that taken away is devastating to these people, and it's not fair. So I've tried to fight it. I've tried to do my best to stay positive. It's made me angry. I don't want to respond to people the way that I've been responding to these haters. I don't have a filter, and I do say how I feel. I'm so glad that the dogs that we've saved are inspiring so many people, and they will continue to inspire people. But there comes a point where I have to make a decision as a leader that it's doing more harm than good to have these people constantly doing this. Because whether they like me, hate me, or whatever they say about me, I see the dogs' lives being put in jeopardy. I see the dogs that have to die. I see that. They don't see that, or maybe they just don't realize what they're doing is hurting these dogs. But I don't care what they think. I care about the dogs, and I'm going to do this as a protection for them, because it's a big responsibility when you run a rescue that you are not interfered with, because it's almost like a hospital that's providing cancer treatments, that's providing this necessary care, and then someone comes in and tries to pull the plugs on all the equipment, just because they hate the owner. Well, you're hurting the kids, you're hurting the children, you're hurting the dogs, you're hurting them. And I have to be a leader and protect them. And sometimes that means making a difficult decision to back away. And if they weren't so relentless with their hate, and if they weren't putting dogs' lives in jeopardy, I wouldn't even consider that. But they are. And I see it. And whether they deny it or not, I see it. And when the allegations come out that I have not done these things, that these are false allegations, when we sue SPCLA and we sue Camp Cocker Spaniel for what they've done to us, eyes are going to open. And it's going to be a shocker to the community. We are suing multiple 501c3s, and we have a great case. And one thing I know that I've never done to them that they're doing to me is this awful slander and defamation with no regard at all for their own rescues. And they're going to pay the price for that, I promise you. Whether they laugh about it now or whatever they're going to say, we're suing them. And justice will be served. So I'm not going to walk away in vain. I'm going to walk away with pride, and I'm going to walk away proving to the public that we were defamed, that we were lied about, and that this isn't right, and that no one should ever allow this to happen again. So everyone that you see in our lawsuit, you're going to look at them and you're going to say, how dare you? Don't do this to anyone else. So the next time they make that post on their Facebook or on their Instagram about how this person's a dog killer or a thief, you're going to think twice. And maybe that's what this was meant to be, an eye-opener, because we're fighting something bigger than I ever even imagined, which is a defamation, slander problem in dog rescue. And whether they think that I've said bad things or nasty things to them or not, that's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with the fact that I was minding my own business. I was not the instigator. I'm a guy from the East Coast who just lost my patience with all of this. And you get to a point where you just have to protect the animals. All right, so what a beautiful story that was tragically taken away. And it's the same with Shirley. If they didn't manipulate Claudia, if they didn't manipulate her best resource away from her, she would still be alive today. And those are the things that I think about and I take into consideration for my decision, because these are dogs that need all the help that they can get. And when you have these people coming in and fighting this help, it's not going to be beneficial for the dogs. So let this be a lesson to the community. Let this be a lesson to the world that dog rescue is broken. That it's not what you think it is. It's not this wholesome environment where everyone works together. And if they say that it is, the only thing that has brought them together this much right now is their hate for me. So that's a fact. So they've proven that they can come together, and which could be a good thing, but when it's used to jeopardize a rescue that's legitimate with lies and slander and defamation, well, you're stopping a wonderful operation from saving so many lives. We have dogs in Nepal that have to stay there. I mean, one of them died already, and the rest of them, they're begging for a new life, and they would have been here months ago, and they're not here because of red tape, and they're not here because we're not able to operate, and due to false allegations, and it's not safe. We're providing the Attorney General with everything that they need from us. We're not running away from anything. I have not stolen anything. And if I was guilty, I would probably be running away. But I'm not. And the only reason why I'm even saying this and announcing this is because I want to protect these animals. And every single day that I wake up, I hear a noise outside, and I think that it could be one of these haters who have just taken it too far. And they're going to knock on my door, and I'm not going to be very nice. And I don't want to do anything to anyone that I'm going to regret. I don't. I do have an anger issue. I admit that. Everyone has their problems, but I don't want to hurt anyone. And I don't want to go that route, you know? And I don't want it to escalate. So I'll do anything to protect my animals. And I don't want to have to end up doing anything to someone that I'm going to regret. So with that being said, you know, look, they're not going to be able to talk about me anymore on these hate pages because I won't be rescuing. But use that page to share dogs. Use that page to share shelter dogs instead of hate. If I'm not in the picture, well then just please leave me alone. Focus on the dogs. Share the dogs. Okay? Do it a justice and prove that you're just not about hate. Prove that I was just that guy that came along that you just didn't like. That's fine. But stop. Because if I'm not rescuing, you have nothing to hate. So, look, these allegations from the Attorney General, I'm not running from them. I'm hitting them head on, and we're providing all of the proof. And I'm so proud of everything we've done in the past year. It's so beautiful. And that's why I have so much peace. Because, honestly, we've saved more dogs than most human beings living their natural, normal lives would save in 10 lifetimes or more. So, it's amazing what we've done together. It's amazing what we've been able to accomplish, and I hope that this just becomes a lesson to the rescue world that there is a problem and that it needs to be fixed. And the more rescues that quit and that step away due to this, the worse it is for the dogs, you know, because there's so many dogs, you know, that just need us. And thank you, Roy, for talking to the Attorney General. People were saying that he was donating to us during the cease and desist. That is not true. But they were investigating to make sure that he wasn't, and we have proof that he did not. So it's never ending. These people are never going to stop. And no matter what we do to prove ourselves, they're never going to go away. And my worst fear is that in the entire year of operation, we've never hurt, we've never killed, we've never put a dog in jeopardy. But I'm starting to see these things happen. I'm starting to see the direction that this could go. And it's frightening for the dogs. Because I don't know how far these people are willing to go. Because they keep escalating. And the more successful we get, the more they push. Because they just hate me. So I'm telling you from an honest perspective here, guys, that I was never a hateful person. I started out so happy. People even mentioned in their comments, well, Johnny seemed to be so happy when he started. It's because I wasn't being lied about. I wasn't being slandered. People weren't saying, imagine you're working every single day at your overnight job, and then when you wake up, you're exhausted. But you go to the shelter, and then you do everything you can to get these dogs out, okay? But you're not doing it their way. But the dogs are still being saved. It's just not their way. And then they just trash you all over the internet and say that you're a dog killer, that you lose dogs, that you're a slinger. And it just really does not benefit these dogs. Okay, so I didn't know that I was going to get into it this deep. I didn't realize the fact that these people were going to be this aggressive. And I can handle a lot. But there comes a time when I have to make a decision to where I don't want to put the dogs in jeopardy, because there can be rumors out there like crazy that Urgent Dogs of LA kills dogs or whatever it might be, but I know we haven't. And if that ends up actually happening, it'll break my heart, okay? And it will be a tragedy to me and to everything that we've done. So I just don't see this being safe moving forward. I don't. And I have to make a decision to protect these dogs. And it's like what happened with Shirley. It's like what happened with the Nepal dogs. I had to watch dogs take their last breaths because they couldn't come here. Dogs that were dying in the street that needed medical care that we couldn't send money to them. So they're poor over there. And my rescue partner couldn't pay for her own bills. So she was unable to pay the vet, and the dog had to take its last breaths on a video. And I saw that because I was watching that dog trying to help in any way that I could, and I just couldn't. I couldn't send the money. I wasn't allowed. So I had to watch these dogs die. And I can't. That's not why I started this. We work hard for our registered charitable organization. We worked hard to put in the paperwork that was necessary. We did all of that. And for these people to say that we didn't, but then there's an investigation that just takes time, and they know what they're doing. They've done this for years, and they knew exactly what they needed to do, and they played dirty with us. Very dirty. But what I can say about that is they're not going to get away with it. So don't think that they are. So SPCLA, Camp Cocker Spaniel, I'm coming for you with a lawsuit. And you can't run and you can't hide. I'm going to sue you. And you better have a lawyer, and a good one. A damn good one. Because I'm going to sue you for what you've done. So these people are going to pay the price. Zach Scow, I'm going to sue you. Hillary Rosen, A Purposeful Rescue, I'm going to sue you. Saving Carson Shelter Dogs, I'm suing you. You are in our lawsuit, officially. That's a promise. So you will pay the price for what you've done. And you're taking somebody who had such a passion for this and forcing him into a corner. And that was your goal. And if you feel proud of yourselves, then so be it. But to take away from all the lives that we've saved, it's a disgrace. And I know when somebody's honest, when they don't give you credit even for the little things that you've done. And it's exhausting enough to do this, on top of the fact that people are constantly lying about you. Look, I'm a normal guy. I just want to go out and save dogs. I want to be left alone. I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy my time with my dogs. And they're making it impossible. And as humans, we can only take so much. And I know what my limits are. They say that I'm crazy. They say that I'm this or that. I know how far I can be pushed. And they're pushing me to the point where it's not safe for them to continue to keep getting in my way. And for their safety, for the dog's safety, I have to make this decision because I don't want to have any dogs be hurt, and I don't want them to be hurt as well. Because I love these dogs more than you guys can even imagine. And I don't allow people to get in my way of saving a dog. And that's what they're doing. And I've had to stay quiet, but they're pushing me to the point where I'm changing my personality. I'm becoming very angry. I'm becoming very, 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 very angry. And I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to be angry anymore. I just want to enjoy my life, watch Family Guy, just go to work, and just be with my dogs. I don't want any of this. I don't want it. It's bad energy. And if they want to live in that circle, if they want to live in that life, well, then they can. But me, I've just worked to try to build these networks for these dogs. I've tried to get these positive stories out, and there's only so much hate that someone can take before they realize it's just really bad for these dogs. So, you know, I know this isn't such a positive thing to say, and I know that, you know, a lot of people look up to us, but you have to understand that it's important to make these decisions for these dogs. And it's important to make sure that we focus on their safety. And that's what I'm doing. I'm focused on their safety. So, thank you for sharing these dogs. I'm losing my passion. I don't even want to go to a shelter today. I'm losing my interest. I'm losing my desire for this. And I pray for these dogs so much. I do. I really want them to be safe. But I can't go to a shelter without being harassed. They film me when I'm there. They push me to my limits. That Saving Carson Shelter Dog video, I was just featuring dogs minding my own business. And she came up with a camera in my face, begging to find out where these dogs are that I know are safe. And the only reason why I can't tell her where they are is because of her doing that. It's just absolutely this sadistic cycle of, why can't you tell me where the dogs are? Well, because I need to protect them from you. I need to protect the family from being harassed, like you're harassing me right now. Don't you get it? But these people are mentally not stable. And they're pushing me to the point where I'm jumping in. And I don't provide their screenshots. I only provide it to my lawyer. But they provide mine to the world. So they're cowards in a sense, because they're willing to just throw me under the bus to destroy me. But I didn't film her. I'm not showing everyone else screenshots of them. I may have done it in the past once or twice, but I deleted it because it didn't have anything to do with the dog's benefit. But they've created pages so dead set on just destroying my life. And I want to have a normal life. I don't want to deal with this. I don't deserve any of this. And none of us do. So all the hard work we put in, all of the effort, all of the dogs that need us, it's a shame. And it's unfortunate. So I was really, really excited about dog rescue, and I lost my interest. I've lost my passion. I don't want to go to the shelter today. I don't want to go to the shelters. I'll get harassed by somebody or something will happen, and I pray to God that these rescues, that these people just make up for what is going to be lost. Please work harder. Celebrate the fact that I'm not in it anymore, and just work harder. That's all I ask. Work harder to go to shelters. Please respond to tags. Please respond to these dogs. Please don't leave them unnoticed. Go in. I beg more dog rescues feature dogs, and I know it doesn't benefit your rescue to do that with donations, whatever it might be, but just get your camera out, feature the dogs so the world can see them, because that's what gets them noticed. And I know that it doesn't go directly back to your rescue, and you're not the one saving the dog all the time, but please, still do it, because it really saves lives. Thank you so much.